What's up, YouTube? Good morning. Oop, what is this angle? Um, so, up this morning, it's about 7 where I'm at, and I'm getting ready to go help with the lunch delivery for my school. I'm, gonna be on a bus dropping off lunches to different, houses and coolers and stuff. Some of these guys could get one lunch. I've seen as many as 5 lunches go into a cooler. Each lunch has 3 bags. That's a total of 15 bags if you can do simple math, which sometimes I can. But so that's what we got going on today. It starts at 8. It's about 20 minutes away from where I live, but I like to just get up early. My husband leaves for work at 7. So I like to use the time before I leave to just kind of get ready for my day. Now you might be asking yourself, why the makeup? You're going to be running around, you're going to be sweating, you're going to be not in your normal work environment, because in my normal work environment it's like a Bosie's, like a restaurant. How do I explain this? It's like school, but it's not school. It's school if school was like real life, like a restaurant and different things you do together inside of a building. And I like to just kind of look nice for that. So obviously I wear makeup for that. And if I'm doing this completely busted, I don't know what I'm doing with makeup. I put it on to look less like trash, but I don't pretend to know anything about it or what I'm doing here, so people are gonna probably judge. Don't really care. Doesn't really matter to me. Not gonna make it matter to me. That's not the point of this video. So, but you might be asking yourself, why is she rubbing a whole bunch of e.l.f. foundation all over her face right now? And the reason is in the current situation right now, this is my logic, is if I have this stuff that's on my washed hands and I put it all over my face, guess who's not going to be touching their face later? Somebody who doesn't want to mess up their makeup. Now, let me get to the point of why I'm filming this video. So I'm filming this video to kind of just go through and talk about the current situation right now. 2020's got a lot going on in the course of just one really very big thing, and it's changing lives, it's changing how we deal with things, it's changing just every aspect of everything pretty much. So I just wanted to touch on a few things that I've noticed and how I'm dealing, and just to be really open and honest about things. And we're all gonna weather this differently, right? When it comes down to it, in the end of the day, we all have choices to make, and it's kind of a pattern. It's a pattern, I think, to some extent. And if I choose to be cautious, and that's not what I would normally choose, but I'm listening to the advice and the important stuff, wash your hands and wear a mask, and if you wear gloves, don't be a fool. I'm listening to all that, right? And if I'm somebody who's not listening to that in any regard, say I have a summer home up in good old northern New York, or I'm an avid fisher for fishing season opening up here in good old northern New York, and as frustrating as it might seem, watching mobile homes, not mobile homes, but like RVs and campers roll up into your hometown from out of state, because in the end of the day, should people be traveling right now? Probably not. But who you have some form of control over, and that's what it really boils down to, is that in this current situation, if we're looking for a foothold of things or people we can control, we need to really come to the resounding conclusion that in the end of the day, we can only really control ourselves, right? Like, not everybody's inherently good, not everybody's inherently bad. Oh, that's janky. So, like, if I say to somebody, hey, you should be more careful, see, there's good ways to talk about this and there's bad ways to talk about this. There's being caring and saying, hey, you should be careful. I hope that you're careful. I hope that you're, taking care of yourself, getting sleep, drinking water, wearing a mask, gloves, hand sanitizer, hand washing. You can say, I hope you're doing that. But you can't hold a person down and force them to do that. And it shouldn't be, arguing or bullying or in a negative sense. And, we all have choices. We have choices that we make based on our feelings. We have choices based on our attitudes. And we all have, to the core, very even just little differences in our attitudes about things right now. So maybe something very small to you might be very big to somebody else. Maybe it's based on a situation that they're in. Maybe, like, I know a huge talking point has been this whole essential workers thing, and I see this post floating around that says, essential workers shouldn't have to work and risk their lives for people to come in and buy things that aren't essential. And the clapback has always been, who are you to determine what is and isn't essential? Mental health comes first. And I just, I'm taking this as an assumption that people are buying non-essential items for mental health reasons. And, they could be doing it for that. They could be doing it because they're bored. I think assumptions are dangerous. I think that I think we have a responsibility. I think we need to be responsible as a community. I think we need to, now is not a time to go to your favorite Lowe's or Walmart and just browse around for hours on end. I mean, I'm lucky if there's cats under my bed. I'm lucky if at any point during this I've been in a store for more than 5 minutes. I try to get in and get out and be on my way and be as courteous as possible, but this is not a normal time for just a leisurely stroll through a garden department or clothes or jewelry. You make a list, you know what you want, you get in and you get out. It's just not safe. And I think that, with every situation, this is very different than anything we've ever seen before, right? Like, we've never seen, a lockdown, death, destruction, a situation quite like this before. So everyone's going to have very different responses to things and how they handle it. And I think in the core of it is we just have to remember to be responsible, and not everybody's out there to, hi Boba Fett, not everybody's out there to do the things that we think they're out there to do. You have to be careful for yourself, and you have to be responsible for yourself. And that's not to say, like, don't call your grandma, don't FaceTime somebody. I was a person who would not have done FaceTime ever at the beginning of this. You know, I was just like, oh, I don't want to be on my phone talking to multiple people and have them see my face. Look at me now, I'm on YouTube. But it's a good outlet. We all have, I guess, things that we should be able to turn to in a time of need like this. You know, it's good to have core, you know, interests. It's good to have core friends. It's good to have a sense of purpose. And let me get, before I get on too much of a tangent, let me get to kind of how I've been doing my day-to-day here, because it's definitely changed, and you know, people might be interested, they might not, but maybe this could help some people. I tend to get kind of in this, like, and I'll say it again, I don't parade around my mental health struggles. Those who know about, like, my past, my trauma, my situations, the things that I've been through, just that journey, are very close to me, and I don't tend to share that information. I don't tend to use that information often to get a point across, but this stuff that I'm sharing right now is just the way that we found a rubber duck under my bed. Cat, fun. But this is just kind of how I've been dealing. And so I'll start by saying every day I make a list, and no matter how silly it is, you know, I just don't trust myself to remember to do things, you know? And I also don't want to go through my days not having some sort of a sense of purpose. This is not to say that I don't rest. This is not to say that I don't take breaks. This is not to say that I don't practice self-care and take time for myself, because that would be incorrect. But, for example, my list today says, you know, Tuesday, be at food delivery by 8:30. And I've been getting back at really weird times just because I have errands. You know, I pop into the store to grab, you know, milk. I had to get milk yesterday, and I was very quick about it. But I've been getting back just before noon, usually. So, depending on if I'm hungry then, I might eat lunch. But today, for example, I have to get Easter boxes to put away decorations out of the attic for my mother-in-law. So I might do that before lunch. And I will likely eat lunch before office hours at 1:30. So that's just kind of what that looks like. And in office hours, I'll pop on and chime in and say hi to some friendly faces, hopefully. And I have a bigger project I want to start upstairs. Upstairs is looking kind of hoardery, so I want to go through and organize some of my personal. When you get married, and all your stuff comes together, and then you realize how much stuff you have, organization should take a priority, but it's just so hard when you have so much stuff. So I do want to make cleaning upstairs a priority today. We've been talking about I make a lot of weird eyebrow twitches when I talk, I'm sorry. We've been talking about wanting to rewatch the Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra series, which are a couple of my favorites. I kind of want to get into reading the hardcover books, because I'm a big fan of those. I was when they first came out. See, there I go, touching my face. But so that's my plan, is to kind of tackle some upstairs cleaning afterwards. Caffeine will likely be involved. I've got, it's awful early for this, but hello. And dinner tonight is leftovers. You know, we just had Easter. I made a really good shrimp Alfredo on Friday, and I kind of want to eat that up before it goes bad. So that's what that's going to look like. And we have a friend of ours that we're going to possibly bring him some food. And Andrew has tomorrow off, so that'll look a little bit different tomorrow. But I do try to make a list every day, and I do try to make a journal every day, no matter how silly or boring the day has been. So, oh, and I did my song list for church, so I have to write up the lyrics for those. And I cross off the days on the calendar, because if I don't cross off the days on the calendar, I literally forget what day it is. So come on an adventure with me. Sorry, shaky iPhone footage. And I have 2 calendars. Oop, hello, mess. So we accidentally crossed off Tuesday. Tuesday's not over yet. But Tuesday, tomorrow, is supposed to be the day that we're going to go back to work. You know, as I've said before, I work for a school district, and obviously that's not going to happen right now. A lot of things are changing. So it's looking like the 29th. I don't see that happening either. But, you know, you can't let that get to you. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but you can't let that get to you. And, you know, it's okay. It's okay to not be strong. It's okay to have real emotions and feelings. And, you know, if someone responds to you in anger, it shouldn't be an excuse, but it shouldn't be just like you taking it to heart, because we're all going through some stuff right now. We're all going through some stress. We're all not in our normal, not even in our normal circadian rhythms, okay? We're not in our normal routine. We're not... And see, when I get talking like that, I feel the stress, the anxiety build up. And it's... Don't watch the news, okay? Watch the news, but don't, like, watch the news, right? Because when you start watching the news, it can build the paranoia up, and you start feeling like this is never going to end, and it's a spiral. Hello, anxiety. Hi, how are you? But just be yourself. You know, pick up a book, watch the birds out the window, phone a friend, do whatever you can during this time to help yourself and to help, you know, try to just be positive. I'm going to go finish getting ready, and I know this was quite a bit rambly, but I would just encourage everyone out there to, I know this has been going on for almost a month now, since they had the meeting on my end. Was March 16th, where they told us that things are going to look very, very different for our school district for a while, and today is April 14th, so in 2 days it'll be a full month of this. And I want to thank everybody. Let's see if I can remember all the essential people. I want to thank, you know, all medical personnel. I want to thank all delivery people, all grocery store employees, managers, delivery people for those. When I say delivery people, I mean like FedEx, Postal Service, people who are like shipping things to houses, because we can only really get stuff online right now. I want to thank, you know, not just doctors and medical personnel for people, but I want to thank veterinarians. You know, those are still an essential, you know, business. I want to thank people that are handling, like, just handling different things. I want to thank law enforcement. I want to thank, you know, the fire department. I want to thank teachers, because, you know, you've had a radical change to how you're teaching right now. For a lot of us, we don't, you know, this would be the time we would have to hop on a Chromebook and figure out how to do a lecture, right? So I want to thank the teachers. I want to thank cafeteria staff and volunteers for packing lunches for kids to help make sure they eat. I want to thank, and that's the other thing too, not every parent is not feeding their kid, but you have to take you have to make a choice to make sure that those kids do get fed that need our help. So there's that little side trail on that. I want to thank, you know, people who have businesses open right now that you might not think are essential, but they are. You know, I think there's still some laundromats open. There's still hardware stores that are open. If you have to spend all day in your house, you're probably going to want to fix your house. And I see a lot of people doing home improvement projects, and where do they have to go? The home improvement stores. So I want to thank the people working in the home improvement stores. And just, I guess the last message I want to leave here is be kind. And if you can't be kind, fake it until you make it. And if you have any reason to believe that, you know, maybe you said something out of character from all the stress that you're going through, and you know, it's okay to apologize. It's okay to reach out to somebody. It's, you know, it might be hard to reach out to somebody, but don't be too hard on yourself. And yeah, this probably isn't the last time I will have a chat about this, but if you held on for this long, this is my longest video to date. This is 20 minutes of just me rambling about the current situation and stuff. So thank you. But I don't know. I might make this a few times a week. I'm trying to get into a schedule to where, you know, it makes sense for people. But thank you. Good luck. Best wishes. Stay healthy. And we'll see you next time. Bye.